This is my inspiration for today's practice. Welcome. Let's get started. Sitting tall. You can go ahead and place a yoga block, rolled blanket, or towel under your hips. Gives you a little lift. Lets you sit a little taller. If you're sitting with your legs crossed, you want to make sure your knees are lower than your hips. That helps keep your hips open. Bring your hands together at your heart. Go ahead and close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, bring your gaze downward. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice the flow of your breath. Notice how easily it comes and goes. At the end of the inhalation, notice how there's a little pause. And at the exhalation, another little pause at the finish. I challenge you now to breathe in. Take that little pause to receive your breath. And as you exhale, pause there at the end of the exhalation to settle. So inhale, receive, absorb your breath. And as you exhale, release and settle. Inhaling, absorbing the breath. The lungs receive the oxygen. Exhale. Settle. Settle into the earth, into the stillness of your body. Again, a breath in. Receive. As you exhale, settle into stillness. One more time. A breath in. Receive. A breath out. Settle. Release your hands. If you're sitting with your legs crossed, go ahead and stretch your legs straight out in front. If you've got a blanket or something under your hips, you can keep it or just slide off for the next few breaths. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, bring your right hand to the mat beside your hip. And as you exhale, left hand reaches over. Breathing in, big breath in. Receive the breath in, and as you exhale, release and settle. Reach over with the right hand. Breath in, windmilling wide, lots of room for your breath. Exhaling, right hand comes to the floor, left hand reaches over. Settle into the weight of your legs and hips. Breath in. Left hand to the mat, right hand reaches over, breath out. One more time to each side. Breath in and breath out. Thinking of the breath in as an opportunity for energy, and the breath out, an opportunity to ground and settle in. Bring yourself back to center. Toes to the top of the mat, knees bent. Hold the back of your thighs. As you inhale, sit tall. Think of lifting and opening through the front of the body, through the sternum. And as you exhale, lean back. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Really spread your shoulder blades wide. Again, breath in, lifting up, opening to receive. Exhale, leaning back, shoulder blades spread wide. Another breath in, lifting tall, exhaling, leaning back, feeling the back of the body open as the shoulder blades spread wide. One more time. Breath in, and a breath out. Sitting tall, bring yourself to table pose. So starting out in table pose here, You want to get a sense that you're flat across the back from shoulder to shoulder. You feel long from the tailbone to the crown of your head. So resist the urge to look down at your fingers. Instead, look towards the top of your mat. That helps keep your vertebrae in the long, steady alignment, the natural curves of your spine. Now shift your weight into your right side, right hand, right knee. And just gently turn your right foot off the mat, toes curled under. Reach your left foot back. So if you take a quick look back to your left big toe, it's almost in line with your right knee. Then readjust. Eyes go back to the top of the mat. Now take a breath in and sweep the left hand up. And as you exhale, sweep the left hand under. Little challenge to your stability here, but at the same time, lots of room to breathe. Be open. 2 more breaths. Really open up towards the ceiling and the sky beyond. Now remember that little space between the inhale and the exhale? Pause there. Just to maximize the movement, maximize the opening of the body. And come back to table. Readjust your alignment, eyes towards the top of the mat, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Pivot your left big toe off the mat. Keep your toes curled under. Shift your weight into your left side, right foot reaches back. Ball of the big toe presses into the mat. When you're ready for your next breath, sweep up. Bring the gaze upwards. You feel much more open then when your eyes go up. As you exhale, sweep under the left side of your body. Breath in. And breath out. Pause in that little space. Make the most. It's about a half a second long, the space between the inhale and the exhale. But you can really push your range of motion there. Really get that extra little stretch, extra little reach. Let's do one more on this side. Reach. Big breath in. And big breath out. And coming back to table pose. Now uncurl your toes, let the tops of your feet rest on the floor, press back, hips towards heels. You can widen your knees if you choose. Creep your hands towards the top of the mat, but relax the hands, relax the arms. Now relax your neck and let your head come down. Soften through the shoulders. Take 2 breaths here. Reinforce the feeling of feeling anchored with your exhalation. As you exhale, sink in. Bring yourself back up to table. Toes curl under. Take a breath. And as you exhale, downward dog. Inhale, come back to table. I need to adjust the placement of my hands. Exhale, downward dog. 2 more times. Inhale, table. If you're not comfortable doing downward dog, go ahead and press back to child's pose. Exhale, downward dog or child's pose. 1 more time. Breath in, coming to table, and breath out, downward dog. Now make your way to the top of the mat, whether you're in child's pose or downward dog. Bringing yourself into a full standing pose. Standing mountain pose. Soles of the feet pressing into the mat, really steady and sturdy, anchored from your hips to your heels to the soles of your feet. Now draw your shoulders up towards you with your breath in. Really roll them back. And with the exhalation, Slide the shoulder blades down. Palms turn forward, thumbs pointing outwards, just to exaggerate the opening from shoulder to shoulder. Bring your gaze a little bit higher to take the tension out of your throat. So I'm looking up at the corner where the wall meets the ceiling, just to find ease through the throat and my breath can flow freely. A couple of breaths here. Now keep your gaze upwards, up towards the corner, not directly up at the ceiling, but slightly up and still in front of you. As you inhale, draw the thumbs up towards each other, circling around and up. Bring the palms together. As you exhale, keep the palms together and simply relax the shoulders. Take a breath in. Now this time with the exhalation, keep the palms turned in, thumbs pointing behind you. Gaze the corner in front of you. Slowly bringing the arms down, slowly feeling the deep stretch into the center of the sternum and the fronts of the shoulders. Keep the thumbs pointed back, pinkies turned forward. Breathe. Think of actively turning the thumbs back and pointing the pinkies forward the whole time we stand here in this version of mountain pose. Really open through the chest, the front of the body. Think of that little space after the inhalation to absorb the oxygen, the breath, the energy. And as you exhale, anchor yourself through your hips, legs, soles of your feet. Now inhale, slowly bring the arms up towards each other once again. Keep your eyes on your focal point at the corner in front of you. Pause, palms together. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, bring the palms down towards the heart. Release the hands. Bring your hands to the crease of your pants, right at the hip joint. Step your right foot back. Regular walking step. You want your shoulders and hips to be squared to the top of the mat. If you feel like you're turning to the right, hop your right foot towards the right side of your mat so your feet are a little farther apart. Looks like you're using two different skis rather than standing on a balance beam. Square, because we're going to fold forward. So hands right at the crease of your pants. Heel, right heel pushes down. Lengthen through the back of the right leg as much as possible. Now draw the belly button and the rib cage in slightly. Because we're folding forward, we need some support for the lower back and the front of the body. Take a breath. And as you exhale, just hinge forward. Focus on keeping the hips level. Try not to let the right hip fall forward and the left hip pull back. Try to keep them level so it feels like your hands are side by side and your elbows are pointing straight out to the sides. Now once again, resist the urge to look straight down. Look slightly in front of your mat. Keep the alignment in the vertebrae so you feel very long from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Helps keep the front of the body open. Right heel pressing down. Really make an effort to keep the right foot, right leg heavy and active. Now reach your hands side to side, straight out behind you. So your fingers are reaching behind you. Turn your palms up so your thumbs are pointing in towards your hips. Take a breath. Draw your shoulders up towards your ears. Roll your shoulders back, and as you exhale, reach with your fingertips so you feel your shoulder blades slide down towards your hips. Now bring your gaze forward to the floor, 5 or 6 feet in front of you. Open through the throat. Even parting your lips and teeth to relax the jaw. Actively reach your fingers behind you. Create some curve in the upper back. So the gaze lifts even higher now to the wall in front of you rather than the floor. Feel the space after the inhalation with a chance to absorb breath, absorb energy. And with the exhalation, settling down, feeling the heaviness in the hips, legs, and feet, anchored to the earth. One more breath. Keep the fronts of the shoulders open. And as you exhale, release the arms. Now sweep up with the breath in, all the way up. Bring the gaze up. And as you exhale, let the arms sweep out to the sides. Thumbs pointing back, pinkies pointing forward. Really try to bring your arms to your sides towards your rib cage as much as possible. At the same time, keeping the thumbs pointing behind you, pinkies turning forwards. Backs of your hands turning in towards your thighs. Breathe. Right heel pushes into the floor so the back of the right leg stays open. Hips level. Inhale, bring the arms up, palms together overhead. Exhale, hands draw down. Eyes look straight ahead. And step forward. Inhale, hands float up. And as you exhale, dive down. Bend your knees enough that your fingertips come to the mat. As you inhale, lift the eyes, look forward. As you exhale, fold over your thighs. Relax your neck, let your head feel heavy. Feel your weight centered on the soles of your feet, so it doesn't feel like all your weight is in your heels or the balls of the big toes. You want equal distribution of the weight here. With your next breath out, if there's room, think about lifting your hips up towards the ceiling and stretching out the back of the legs a little bit more. If you're able to take a little more intensity. If not, stay right where you are and breathe. Bend your knees. As you inhale, lift your eyes, look forward. As you exhale, just one at a time, bring your hands to your thighs and press up. In the supported chair pose right here, bring your left hand to the back of your hips so your fingers are pointing down towards your left heel. Right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Take a breath. And as you exhale, just use your right hand to turn to the left to bring yourself into a gentle twist. Just looking to the wall at the left. Using your left hand to help you pull the left shoulder back. Right shoulder, think of your right elbow reaching down towards the floor. Ah, look at all that room. We just got out of that twist. Breathe. With your next exhalation, release the twist, release your hands, arms at either sides. Inhale, sweep up. And as you exhale, release. You got it. All right, hands to the hips, ready for that sequence on the other side this time. Left foot steps back. Step towards the left side of your mat. Your toes are pointing forwards-ish, especially the left foot. Shoulders, hips are square to the top of your mat. Return your hands, if you move them, to the hip joint. Relax the shoulders. Now think about the soles of your feet. Feel the weight of the sole of your feet and how anchored you feel to the floor. Push down with the left heel, lengthen the back of the left knee. Take a breath. And as you exhale, hinge forward. Hinging at the hip. You can feel the crease of your pants, like starting to crease because your fingers are at the hip joint rather than on top of the hips. Looking slightly in front of your mat rather than straight down at your right toes. Aware that your hips feel square And your shoulders are square. You're not turning to one side or the other. Find the spot where it is a challenge. You can feel the work in the right leg, but at the same time, it's a challenge to keep the left heel heavy and the left leg working. Check in with the back. You want to feel long from your tailbone to the crown of your head, keeping your eyes forward. Forward of the top of your mat, forward, not looking at your right toes. Then reach your hands back. Palms turned up towards the ceiling, thumbs pointing in towards your hips. As you take a breath in, pull your shoulders up towards your ears, roll your shoulders back, and as you exhale, reach your hands behind you. Feel your shoulder blades slide towards your spine and bring your gaze now to the wall in front of you. Really open through the front of the body. It doesn't matter if you come out of your forward fold slightly. What matters here is being open in the front of the body. Keep actively reaching your fingers behind you so your arms feel long, your hands feel energized. You can feel your shoulder blades kind of poking your heart forward. Feel all the freedom in the rib cage, the belly, the chest for your breath. You're open. When you create more room, you can receive everything. Each breath out, anchor hips, legs, feet with the weight of the body. So the upper body is free to breathe. One more breath. Relax the arms, getting ready to sweep up. Breath in. Bring your gaze upwards now. And let the hands come wide. Thumbs pointing behind you, pinkies turned forward, palms turned outwards. Shoulder blades really squeezing in towards the spine. Now just check in with the lower back and the buttocks. Make sure you're not squeezing or straining through the lower back or the buttocks here. Release that with your next breath out, even if you think you're not doing it. Take a breath in, absorb the breath, and as you exhale, release. Release the breath, release down through lower back, buttocks, hips, legs, soles of the feet. Keep actively trying to squeeze your arms in towards your rib cage. Feel the deep opening in the front of the sternum. Inhale, arms sweep up. Palms come together. As you exhale, hands come down, palm pressing to palm. Gaze returns to your forward focal point. And step forward. Inhale, hands float up. As you exhale, sweep the arms wide, dive down, bend your knees on the way. Fingertips come to the mat. Bending your knees enough, your fingertips are on the mat. Inhale, lift the eyes up forward, and as you exhale, fold. Relax the neck, let your head feel heavy. Feel the weight in the soles of your feet, equally distributed, front and back. With your next breath out, you can go ahead and lift your hips up towards the ceiling, creating a little more intensity if you can. If not, that's fine too. We're all here to do our best and do what we can. Bend your knees. Inhale, lift the eyes up forward. As you exhale, bend your knees a little more deeply. Bring your hands one at a time onto the tops of your knees. Use your hands on your knees to pull the rib cage and belly away from your thighs. Pause here in this supported chair pose, getting ready for our twist. Right hand comes to the back of your hip, fingers pointing down towards your right heel. Left hand comes over top of your right thigh, fingers wrapped around to the outside. You're going to do your own adjustment by bringing yourself into your twist. Take a breath. And as you exhale, just turn to look to the wall at the left this time. So once you've found a point on the wall to anchor yourself, to focus on, make little adjustments to deepen your twist. So right hand presses into your hip, roll your right shoulder back. Oh, there's more right there. Look at that. Take another breath. And this time with the exhalation, think of reaching your left elbow down towards the floor. Focus on drawing your breath into your belly. The deeper you draw your breath in, the more time there is for the oxygen to be absorbed by your lungs. Remember that little pause after the inhalation is to absorb, to receive. And as you exhale, you release. Push all the molecules of breath out. Those molecules you didn't need. The carbon dioxide. Now exhale, release your twist, release your hands. Coming back to center, arms at the sides. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, release. Standing in mountain pose. Steady, tall. Take a moment to roll your shoulders back, slide your shoulder blades down. Draw the belly and the rib cage in just slightly. We're going to do a little bit more work, opening through the shoulders and the sternum. So turn your palms behind you. Reach your fingers down towards the floor so your arms feel really long. In fact, you can feel your arms pulling your shoulders down. Just be careful not to roll forward. Stay long. That's why the belly and the rib cage drew inward for support. Now push your palms of your hands, push the palms of your hands back. So push back. Push. Think of reaching. Now lift your eyes up to the corner in front of you where the wall meets the ceiling like you did before. And slowly start to bring your thumbs towards each other. You might miss, that's okay. Try not to bend the elbows or minimize the bend in the elbows. Oh, this is hard. Breathe. Absorb and release. The breath only. One more breath. Now release your thumbs if they were touching. Keep the arms long. Bring your gaze a little bit higher, now to the ceiling in front of you. Not straight above, but slightly above. Draw the fronts of the shoulders back. Ooh. And then reach for the floor. Again, part your teeth, part your lips. Really take all the tension out of the throat so the breath can flow freely. Just wander down your throat and slowly meander back out. Keep your gaze on the spot in front of you, up at the ceiling. Turn your palms out, rolling the arms. Feel the roll of your arm bones in your shoulder sockets. Relaxing the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. Anchored from your hips, legs, soles of your feet. Breath in, bring the palms up overhead, together. As you exhale, hands floating down, palm pressing to palm, eyes gazing straight forward. Whew. Inhale, sweep. Let the hands float up. As you exhale, dive forward. Bend your knees. Fingertips graze the mat. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, fold over your thighs. Relax your neck, let your head dangle. Adjust your weight again so it feels perfectly balanced on the soles of your feet. And here, this is a bit of a restorative forward fold here. If you like, you can go ahead and fold your arms. Left hand to your right elbow to your left hand, right hand to your left elbow. You can even sway a little bit. Just feel your body. Notice your breath. So grateful for my yoga mat. Now bend your knees enough you can plant your hands completely and step back to downward dog or table pose, whichever suits you and your practice today. Just be grateful for the breath, the strength of your body, everything that it does do. It's amazing. If you're in downward dog, bring yourself to table. We're going to come down onto forearms and elbows here. So elbows underneath the shoulders. Palms turned down so you've got a good connection to your yoga mat. Take a breath. And as you exhale, just let your shoulders push up towards the ceiling. Relax your rib cage. Relax your neck, let your head come down and kind of dangle. Use the weight of your head to do a little bit of traction in the back of the neck here. And press up. Knees wide, big toes together to touch. Take a child's pose. Whichever version of child's pose you like. This is the one I like, so it's the one I do. Restorative child's pose for 3 breaths. Really try to linger in the pause between the inhalation and the exhalation, and then the second pause between the exhalation and the inhalation. You might even find that you begin to make that little pause a little bit longer. That moment where there's stillness, but at the same time, so much comfort there. Press up. Legs to the top of the mat. Bringing your hands behind you. Now turn your fingers away from you. Come up high on your fingertips so your elbows are bent. Really anchor the backs of your legs, backs of your calves down into the mat, and spread your toes so that your heels are also anchored. Now with your next breath, as you exhale, think of pulling the fronts of the shoulders back. Bending the elbows a little bit more, using your fingertips to help you pull the shoulders back. Ooh, yeah, you want to feel a stretch there. Just when you thought your shoulders couldn't be stretched anymore, here we are. And breathe. Bring your gaze up. Part your lips, part your teeth once again. Take the tension out of your jaw, out of your throat. Really try to relax your tongue. Ah, feels good to breathe. And release. Getting ready for a twist. Inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, right hand comes to the mat beside your hip. Left hand reaches to the outside of your right thigh. And just turn to the right. Deep breath. With your next breath out, turn your head to look over your right shoulder. Looking more behind you now. Use your right hand on the floor to help you pull the right shoulder back. Use your left elbow to reach down towards your left thigh to drop the left shoulder down. You're ready for a deeper twist here, so don't be afraid to go a little bit more than you normally do. You're fully warmed up, but also remember, always practice with care. Care for yourself. Your next breath out, release the twist. First the head, then the shoulders, and then the rib cage. Take a breath right here, sitting tall. Inhale, arms sweep up. As you exhale, left hand comes to the floor beside your hip, right hand comes to the outside of your left thigh. And gently turn to the left. Shoulders turn first. Pause. Now turn your head with your exhale to look over your left shoulder. Feel your twist deepen. Reconnect to your breath. The breath should not feel hurried or quick. Now use your left hand to help you pull your left shoulder back. Right elbow to reach down towards your right thigh to deepen the twist. Again, using your breath as your measure. The full breath, the inhale to pause, the exhale to pause. All the parts are there. Your next breath out, release your twist, head first, shoulders, rib cage. A breath. There's always time for a breath. Inhale, sit the arms up. As you exhale, bring yourself forward. Far enough forward you can bring your fingertips to the mat, to the outsides of both legs. Take a breath. And as you exhale, fold. One more fold. Keep the backs of the legs anchored down to the mat. Resist the urge to reach or grab with your fingers. Just let your fingertips float on the mat. Keep your gaze forward, beyond the top of your mat. Now use your fingertips to push into the mat. Pull the shoulder blades in towards the spine. Feel the intense stretch in the back of the legs here. And just breathe through it. Breathe through the intensity. Those moments where there's a lot going on, return to your breath. Press up. Bend your knees. Toes to the top of the mat. Roll yourself all the way back. Take a moment here. Your arms at your sides. Just for a breath. Let your hips feel heavy. And bring your knees in towards your chest. And a good squeeze in. Gently rock yourself from side to side. Massage all the way down to the tailbone. And then back up again. In the next breath or two, bring your feet to the floor. Stretch your legs out. Kind of make whatever adjustments you need to so you feel comfortable and fidget free. Take a moment to roll your shoulder blades underneath you so you feel really open from shoulder to shoulder across the sternum. Backs of the hands resting on the floor. If it helps, bring your hands out farther from your body so you can really rest heavily in the shoulders, back of the skull, back of the hips, backs of the calves, the heels, the hands. Go ahead and close your eyes. Let your breath feel lazy. And by that I mean linger in that little space between the inhalation and the exhalation, and then the second space between the exhalation and the inhalation. In that space where there is stillness, notice the calm in your body. Hear the quiet of your mind. Feel the physical openness to your heart. With this openness to the heart, you are ready to receive. Just visualize someone, a group of people, not someone you know, just someone. Someone perhaps in Australia, maybe somewhere in Europe, or perhaps even Africa. There is someone in all of those places who is fighting the same battle as you. And just be open to feel their energy, to receive it into your heart. Breathing in, just receive the love that's out there from the collective world. And as you exhale, settle into it. Breathe in the love. Breathe in the collective energy of working towards the same goal. And as you exhale, settle into it. Another breath in, another opportunity to receive and feel. Exhaling, settling into the positive energy of a world that's working together. Now connect your breath. Breathing in to receive. And as you exhale, release a little energy out, helping to restore the world with your own breath, your own effort. Breathing in to receive and love. Exhaling to send out love. Breathing in and breathing out. We're all in this together. Slowly bring some movement to your fingers and toes, hands and feet, arms and legs. Stretch your body long. And then bend your knees. And as you roll onto your side, feel yourself curl up tight. Press up. and sit tall. Hands together at the heart. Taking a moment to be grateful. Grateful we have each other. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be loved. May all beings be at peace. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.